In Glasgow last week, a senior Scottish Tory provided his election update and dutifully ticked off reasons to be cheerful. Brexit has enhanced Tory prospects. Nicola Sturgeon isn't half as popular as we think. Scottish independence is still seen as divisive on many doorsteps. But what's been astonishing has been the total collapse of the Labour vote in places we once feared to tread, he reported. There was regret in his tone, a mere twist perhaps, but unmistakable all the same. Nothing resembling triumphalism could be detected in his words, rather they were tinged with the kind of sorrow you might retain for the plight of a once respected foe in the passing of permanence. All opinion polls conducted in Scotland since the start of the election campaign appear to endorse this view. Labour can expect to hold on to a maximum of 3 seats, with only Ian Murray in Edinburgh South entitled to harbour real optimism. In 2010 this party returned 41 Scottish MPs to Westminster out of 59 and with a 42% share of the vote. In less than a decade they have become an electoral afterthought, as irrelevant as the Greens and UKIP. The scale of the collapse is remarkable, but more remarkable still has been its speed. Nothing is permanent under the sun, but political climate shifts as colossal as this one might reasonably be expected to happen over generations, not a few arid summers. The 2010 result was achieved at a time too when the spectacular rise of the SNP was already well underway. The Nationalists had been in power at Holyrood for 3 years, yet Labour were still seen as the authentic defenders of working-class interests from the predations of the Tories. Nor can you point to a sharp and widespread rise in living standards, the usual handmaiden of heedless, reflex Toryism. In Scotland in this last decade the only sectors to experience sustainable growth have been food banks and charity sleepouts. The most common assumptions offered up for Labour's apocalypse in Scotland are the emergence at the same time of Scottish independence and Brexit, the 2 great constitutional issues, as implacable movements beyond their control. Thus, the party has been squeezed between 2 great forces of nature where something emotionally primeval has come to supplant reason and intellect. In England perhaps, but not in Scotland. In England Labour has struggled to overcome what has been a campaign of defamation, unprecedented in its ferocity, aimed at Jeremy Corbyn. Almost every circle of the UK establishment has been roused in a class-wide call to arms to ensure that a genuine socialist is denied the opportunity to dismantle the citadels of their influence. In the context of a global surge of anti-immigrant, might-is-right extremism led by the presidents of the 2 most powerful nations on the planet, the UK Labour Party has indeed faced over. For more on this story, visit the news article link.